Today we're going to have so much fun in this video making a tiered tray for winter. My theme is Frosty the Snowman and it is F-U-N fun. This is the 5 Under 5 challenge, the playlist from Missi from the Crafty Cove and Emily from Farm Charm Chic, and the guest host is Sharon from Grace's neighbor Sharon. And we are going to be making a snowman tiered tray. It's so much fun. This is my inspiration, this darling little ornament from the Dollar Tree. And my first DIY for under $5 or a little bit over $5 is the actual tiered tray. We're going to make one today. I love tiered trays. Tiered tray decor is so much fun. I actually found this vase at Hello Goodbye, my favorite thrift store here in Glenn County. And the orange stickers mean half price. So I got that one for $1. And then the red slash means 75% off. So I got that little candle holder for $1. And then, of course, you probably recognize those chargers from the Dollar General. Those are $1 each. And I love that wood grain charger. And the black underside of these chargers is just going to be way too dark for this tiered tray. This tiered tray is all about snowmen and playing and having fun. And so I need lots of light and bright and snowy looks. So I was concerned that I was going to get some chipping on that plastic. So I'm taking my Mod Podge, the matte Mod Podge from Walmart, $3.98 for 8 ounces. My favorite Mod Podge there. And I'm going to cover that layer of chalk paint. And then I'm going to, actually that was an acrylic white. And then I'm going to also put that white on this vase because of the dark painting on there. I'm afraid it's going to show through my sweater that we're going to cover it with. And then for the top tier, we're going to use this beautiful snowflake, this wooden snowflake from the Dollar Tree. This is in their winter decor, their Christmas decor, and it's so pretty. I just love it. Now I'm going to be distressing this back just a little bit, so I'd like to have a darker undercoat than its natural wood color. So I'm going to take my antique Waverly wax. Actually, yeah, I think this is Waverly wax. It might be Folk Art. You can get both of those or you can get the Folk Art at Hobby Lobby and the Waverly wax at Walmart. But I find them to be very similar. So it's one or the other there. And I'm going to get the edges, and I'm actually going to cheat the $5 just a wee bit, and I'm going to be coming maybe $1/4 over, and I'm going to add another one. I'm going to make this nice and sturdy. I'm not sure what I'm putting on the top yet, but I want to make sure that we're going to have a nice sturdy snowflake for the 3rd tier. And I'm going to take those little clamps that you get at the dollar store, and I also take the little ones, and I get each little part of the snowflake there. I let that sit overnight with the wood glue from Gorilla Glue, which is my favorite wood glue, and it is now perfectly straight and very solid. And so the underside of our snowflake, of course, is going to be white. I think most of my DIYs today are going to be painted with Waverly's Plaster, which is kind of an off-white, but it's going to read white on the tiered tray because, it's plaster. It's not necessarily an ivory shade. It's more of a, just an off-white. And so it's going to be, but that's how I decorate with, I don't have white in my decorating in my house. My furniture is a little bit, on the shabby chic side. So it's got a little bit of a color to it, but not much. So we cover both sides over the Waverly wax. That's going to be the top side because I'm going to distress back a little bit onto that darker color, which will add a little bit of rustic flair to the top of our tiered tray. And the underside is going to be that nice, clean plaster color, which will read a nice white, which I'm going to be putting my little tea light candles I ordered from Amazon. They're on a 5-hour timer. So I'll put those on the tier tray and that will reflect nicely. Okay, now I got this sweater a long time ago. I've worn it all through summer and it's a real thin cable knit. And just recently I found another one that I like a little bit better. It fits a little bit better. So this one now is available for crafting. And so I am going to take the sleeves here. Not enough on that sleeve. So I grabbed the other sleeve for the taller vase that we have painted white. I put a little Mod Podge on and then gave another coat of paint too. So it is going to, of course, we don't see any of that prior paint there. And then we are going to cover that and just use a little bit of my Gorilla Glue, hot glue sticks and tap that down. And then you won't even notice. I just folded under the frayed edge and made a nice little hem with my glue gun and my glue sticks. And tried to keep the cable knit as straight as possible. You can see the seam there. It's not going to be completely straight, but for the most part, I am going to keep it straight, except for that part back there on the hem. All right. Going to trim off a little bit, little extra glue there, and then I'm going to push, 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 and make sure it's all completely down. And this makes a nice cozy little middle to our the risers on the tier tray. Now I have painted the top part plaster and then wiped it back with a baby wipe. So I just have a little snow-kissed look on my wood grain charger. But it's got a little buildup from where I painted the underside. So I just sand that off and get a nice finish for our edges. Then take my baby wipes and wipe those off and get them ready for the Fix-All adhesive from the Dollar Tree. This is the Super Glue brand that you get there. And then the Gorilla hot glue sticks I get at Walmart. And they're great for something like this. I have no worries that this is going to fall apart. Between these two, they will be a great adhesive for this tier tray. All right, so I'm going to put 4 dabs of the Fix-All, and in between, in the open spaces, I'm going to put a little bit of the hot glue, and I'm going to place that kind of eyeball the center there. I used a nail file to kind of estimate my center. You'd think I could have walked around the table to my sewing machine and gotten my measuring tape, but oh well, it works out. Okay, and here comes the nail file again. Okay, yep, that's going to be the center. It's pretty close anyway. I'm going to spin it around after I put my 2 adhesives on there. I'm going to put it down and then I'm going to spin, spin, spin until that hot glue sets and get it just where I want it. You're going to see I'm sitting down so my perspective is on the tower itself, the vertical part. There we go. All set. Now the snowflake goes on top, and here's our tier tray all down on the kitchen counter and ready for action. Love it. Now I'm going to pair that with a few of these bottle brush trees from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to bend those down, those little trunks at the bottom, so you can see the difference there. Those are the 2 I'm going to use, the ones that don't have a tag. And then this pick I have clipped apart from this one pick that I found at the Goodwill bins. So I paid very little for that. Wrap that around our bases there. And that looks snowy and wonderful and ready for action. So here is our first tier tray decor, now that we have our tier tray ready for action. These are, of course, from the fall. But I love that red cup, so it's perfect for Christmas and for the winter. And have you seen the new clings, window clings from the Dollar Tree? When you flip them over, they have these great textured, chunky stickers. Look at the snowman. Oh my goodness, they're having so much fun. They're so vintage and retro. My little Frosty is so excited. I think he picks that one for me to use on my tier tray to hang out with him. But look at those gingerbread. Oh my goodness, the window clings are darling. But look at the stickers. Oh goodness, I love, love, love them so much. I'm going to have to use that for sure this season coming up. Oh, I'm so excited, and I'm such a penguin fanatic. Look at that truck. That penguin driving that darling truck. My goodness, and those little houses. Oh, they are so cute. But I have to stay focused. We are doing snowmen, not penguins. So let's get back to our darling little snowman window clings and the chunky stickers that go with it. Look at those big snowflakes. Oh, I love them so much. Okay, now of course these little cups of coffee and cocoa are perfect for winter, but we can't use the autumn and we can't use the I heart fall or I leaf fall, I guess. We're definitely going to be using that hedgehog. Oh my goodness, that's a cute hedgehog. Now let's take a look at those window clings. Look, transparent. Gonna have to do something if I'm going to use those window clings for sure, because those dark colors are not going to work. So I take my little, I had like 3 containers of white acrylic paint that were just at the dregs, you know, just at the bottom. I don't throw anything away around here. And so I decided to make me a little mixture of white acrylic paint. And so I'm going to have to end up doing 3 coats. I think I even dab on a 4th coat, because I want this to be super opaque. I want those stickers and those window clings to have something nice and bright and white to sit on so they'll show up. So I am just going to cover that up with a nice coat of white. There, and you can see it's going to need a few coats, but I'm got a pretty steady hand. When we paint rooms, my husband hates cutting in the trim, and that kind of is my strength. So we work well together. He runs the roller and does the walls and the big stuff, and I get to cut things in, and we're a good pair, my husband and I. So there we go. That looks fantastic. Nice and ready for something fun to go on the front. Maybe a saying. I don't know. I took off the stickers off the back, but you know, Dollar Tree stickers, even when they're easy to pull off, they sometimes leave a residue. But I knew I was going to be painting this because I thought I'd be adding some stickers or some window clings or some stamps or something to the back. So again, I have to make sure I have a nice base to put that on. And so I'm going to go right up to the edge here. I'm not leaving any border. I'm even getting the little handle there. I'm going to do both of them. You see me doing the coffee cup here, but I am going to get that mug of hot cocoa and make the back nice and white on it as well. With a couple of coats. Looks nice. Use a nice small brush. Great. Let that dry, and here we go. Now it's time for those gorgeous chunky stickers that we're going to use. I have my clickable stamps. I have the uppercase and the lowercase in the typesetting clickable stamps. I got these at Michael's. They were buy one get one free. Ooh, I hit a real good sale on those clickables. And I'm going to use one of my ink pads from the Hobby Lobby. I think those run $3.99. And they do go on sale, so I probably got it on sale. It's hard to say. Now, you see me, I'm putting together snowflakes. My saying between the 2 cups is going to be snowflakes are kisses from heaven. And so I'm making the snowflakes in the capital letters, and then I'm going to put the R, A-R-E, in lowercase. There we go. In the lowercase. And we're going to put that on the cup of coffee, or maybe a latte with that yummy whipped cream on top. There we go. Oh, I love my clickables. They're so great. All right, but you're going to see that I should have pushed them down a little bit harder. Or I think my problem was I had it on that paper plate, and I misjudged the angle. I should have put them flat on my work surface. I think that would have worked better. Okay, so we're going to put a snowflake on there as well. So I'm trying to make space for that. So I ink up my snowflakes. And here we go. Tap. Ooh, not quite in the middle there. Should have pushed it down in the middle. I only pushed on the outsides. But that's easily fixed. I just click apart my little letters and tap, tap, tap. Now we're going to wipe that up with a baby wipe right away so it doesn't dry on there. This ink is very good ink from the Hobby Lobby. And here comes the R. And then I'll put Kisses from Heaven. Kisses will be in the uppercase. And From will be lowercase. And then Heaven, of course, will be uppercase. And that will go on the cup of cocoa. And here goes a little snowflake right there in the little white part. And then I'm going to paint on top of that our white. Get a smaller brush there. I've got a humongous brush. What was I thinking? Okay. I love those brushes for big surfaces. I get those at Michael's as well when I have a 40% off coupon. And so you see I painted over those with white. And I've already distressed back the cup of coffee snowflake. So I'm just going to take my nail file that I get from Amazon and I'm going to distress back that snowflake there. And then I flipped him over, and of course I've got to use that hedgehog. He is too cute. He's like got a little gift he's bringing to the party. And he's ready for his cup of cocoa. Or I guess he's getting the latte. He likes a little coffee. He needs a little caffeine. He's a cute little hedgehog. And so I put the whitewash on there. This is white. This is a full card. I think it's wicker white. And there he is. Oh my goodness. I put 2 layers of the wicker white and I dabbed it off in between. I'm going to do the same thing with this darling little bird with his big present he's toting to the party. And you could see how that little whitewashing just, you know, marries it to the white background and gives it a nice finish with our snowy feel to our tier tray. And so there's one. I actually think I go back and do the hedgehog one more time before I take it downstairs and then wipe it back in the direction of his tines there, his little spikes and spine. And I do the same thing on the bird. I'm going to wipe it in the direction of the feathers, tail feathers, and his wing. And make sure his little face is cleaned off. I want to see his sweet little eye. And there they are. Here they come on our tiered tray. They're on our middle tier. And snowflakes are kisses from heaven with our little hedgehog peeking out beside the sweater and our little bird. Oh my goodness, so sweet. And I added those little vase filler snowballs, which will come in handy for this DIY. We're going to have a lot of fun with this one. This is from the toy section of the Dollar Tree. Yes, it's the play set, one of the furniture play sets. This is, I think actually they still have these, even though these came out during the spring for the summer. And I've never put this particular one together. I've done several of these. Used them in my decor. They paint up great. I will end up using a little Mod Podge. Oh, look, Frosty sits so nice. Oh, he's going to use that chair as a barrier. Yes, he's going to be in a snowball fight with his friends, out to play and have fun. So I'm just looking at the picture, making sure I know what I'm doing here, make sure I have all my parts. And so this is a winter tiered tray, and it's going to be going on my kitchen counter for a while, and you know, it might get switched around, but that pink is never going to work in my winter decor. I may use some hot pink in the summer, but that would be it. And so that's going to get its plaster coat, actually several coats, along with, I think I put a coat of Mod Podge in the middle, just to make sure that it was not going to scrape off and we weren't going to get any chipping. Mod Podge is great for that. If you ever worry about paint chipping off, just give it a layer of Mod Podge and you will be good to go. So I got these little Scrabble letters from the Dollar General, and every once in a while I pull some letters out of that and put on something. And sometimes I put it on just with a little dot of hot glue, and then I can pop it back off if it's something I want to be temporary. But I think I'm going to leave this as permanent on our little table that we're going to turn sideways into a tray. So you see I've got it laying there, but once we get the back legs on, it's going to be laying sideways like we used to do when I was a kid, and we would have snowball fights with my brother and his friends. We inevitably always lost, but you know, you never stop trying. And so I'm going to mix. I wanted a little texture in our snowflakes, and I thought, well, I could grab the baking soda and mix that with my chalk paint, which works great. But I thought, no, I've had my big glitter container from the Hobby Lobby, and I told you you'd be seeing that a lot this season. I love that it's called Crystal, and I got it when it was on half off. The glitter does go on half off every other week, so make sure don't pay full price for glitter when you go to Hobby Lobby. They have great selection over there. And so that gets a textured paint of glittery plaster. And then I'm going to take a little of my tea. I just took some of my drink there and poured it to make a little wash. I want to say whitewash, but it's got tea in it, so I guess it's a little off-white wash. And I'm going to paint over those letters that just looked a little too stark, you know. I wanted them to have a little bit of a softness. I could have gone white wax, but I decided, no, I'm just going to keep with my plaster chalk paint. And I'm going to water it down a little bit with tea, and that will be perfect. I'm going to take my paper towel there and kind of wipe it back just a little bit after it dried for a few minutes. Or it probably got 1 minute of drying time, but that's all it needs. Chalk paint, as you know, dries super fast. So the chairs, they get their glittering and plastering, and make sure that they're not going to chip off, and they're beautiful and glittery as well. Now it's time for my little ornament from the Dollar Tree, Frosty. He's got a great little textured body on his snow. But I decided I wanted to give him some more buttons for his little tummies. And I choose a kind of a medium size and a small button. I got those buttons at Hobby Lobby on a clearance. I think it was like $174 for that big pack. And it's got some big buttons in it too. So that'll be fun. And so they're going to get hot glued on his little bumpy little textured covering there on his two bottom sections there. And then he's going to get a little hat here in a minute. But I'm going to take Real Brown by Apple Barrel. This is a gloss. This is what I like to use when I make things look chocolatey. Like at Easter time when I paint those little bunnies for chocolate bunnies. And just recently I did an ornament video that will go to the Ronald McDonald house that I've already sent to Natalie from Design to the Nines. She's decorating a tree at the Ronald McDonald house in Orlando, and so I painted some truffle ornaments and put a white hot glue on top to make little truffles hanging from the tree. That'll be yummy and chocolatey. So that's the color of his arms, and that will look very cute. Now it's time to put together our table. So there we go, no problems. I tried to avoid that with the paint and the glitter so I wouldn't have any problem getting those legs put together there. And I'm going to take my plaster paint and just get a new brush there and dab all of the, the joints where all the little pieces and parts went together so that they are now all kind of one table, one with legs and one piece. And then we're going to flip it over. Of course, it's going to get a little glitter. Yep. Got to glitter because those legs are going to show. We got to make those legs look good. And now we're going to hot glue our Let's Play on the tabletop with the cute little chunky stickers that we've painted. And there they're hot glued, and he's going to sit on his side and look so cute. Now I couldn't go without a little apostrophe, so I take some of my ribbon I'm going to be using later. I had that sitting aside, and I make a little apostrophe. You'll see this is that birch bark looking ribbon from the Dollar Tree. We're going to be using that on a DIY in just a few minutes. And I make a little exclamation point. There we go. And the little dot at the bottom. And our little table is ready. Now we just need to finish up Frosty. Now, I got these little hats from Walmart. Walmart has lots of cool little things in their Christmas section right now. Just fun to look through, and they get more every day. And so these little buffalo check hats, I just call them my name. But since they're fabric covered, I didn't want to cut the hat, and it was sitting too high on my little snowman's head. So my little snowman got a little haircut there. And he's just snow anyway. He looks super cute with his little buffalo check hat. Look there, he's got his table and his chair turned over. He's ready for his friends, and here they come. Look at these darling little wooden snowmen I found at Hobby Lobby. They were originally marked as $4.99, and I got them for half off, which of course is $2.50. But I was just at Hobby Lobby last night, and now they have their Christmas on 60% off. So I feel like I paid too much for these, but it's okay. They're well worth $2.50 and well under the $5 challenge for this great playlist. I want to thank Missi and Emily again for always putting together this playlist. And you'll definitely want to go into my description box below and check out their channel links are below, as well as Sharon from Grace's Neighbor Sharon, her channel name. And you'll want to check out the playlist as well. That link is also, it's the first link in my description box. So you can see all the fabulous creators that join this playlist every month. It is one of my favorites. I love all the playlists I'm involved with, but this one is always so great, and I get so much inspiration. All right, so these little guys got a little bit of antique wax, and then on their bodies, and then I put 2 coats of plaster on over top of the antiquing. So now when I distress them back, because they're going to look rough and rugged, these little fellas are out to play, right? And now their little hats, I want it to distress back to light. So the natural wood is going to be perfect for the little underneath their little hats. And the antique wax underneath the plaster will be perfect for their little bodies. So here I go with my nail file. I've got a big bag of them. I get those on Amazon. And I am just going to town on my little fellas here. They want to look all rough and rugged. They're going out in their play clothes, and they are ready to play on this great snow day with their big friend Frosty. And they say, we don't want any ribbon. We don't want any cute baker's twine as our scarves. Just give us some jute. And we're ready to go outside. We don't need much. We're going to go have some fun because it is a snow day. We used to love snow days. I grew up in Tennessee, and I grew up in the city. I just took the twine and I kind of twisted it backwards just to give it a little frayed effect. But I grew up in the city schools, and the county schools would always get out if even a little bit of snow would fall, and we'd watch the TV, and we'd watch for Kingsport City Schools to come across that we were out for a snow day. But always Sullivan County always got out, because they had more mountainous roads. But our city schools, our roads always got scraped. But boy, when that Kingsport City went across the bottom, that was so exciting. Look at our little guys. They're on their snow day, and they've got their little twine, and they're going to have a snowball fight with their big friend Frosty with his fancy buffalo check hat. They've got their lawn furniture all tipped over, and they're ready for FUN fun. And that is our next DIY today. I get these at Walmart for $1.67. They are $1.67 each, so we're right under $5 for this DIY. And I was just showing you my glasses. I'm trying to get the staples out of these things, so I've got my little screwdriver and my wire cutters that I pulled that out. They didn't go flinging this time, but you never know. So I always put glasses on when I'm messing with those staples in this MDF board. So it's going to get a coat of the plaster chalk paint by Waverly as well, also from Walmart. And he probably gets 2 coats. We're going to cover him up with these darling little snowman napkins I got from Jackie from Mamma Mia DIYs from my last challenge. It was the napkin exchange that Sarah does from Sunflowers and DIYing. And she sent me these Christmas ones. Well, the challenge was for a fall, a Thanksgiving centerpiece, so I didn't use them in my last challenge video. I'll link that in the or at the end of this video if you want to check it out. But this one is so cute, I wanted to use it today. So now I've got 2 of these napkins, 4 panels, and 3 words, so I should be A-okay. I try to get the snowman image on the thickest part of the letter, so you can see the F there. I've got the full snowman almost on that, that vertical part of the F. And then here's the U. Yep, I've got the F all trimmed up and sanded down. Of course, I'm going to take my little nail file and I'm going to sand away from the napkin, as we always do with Mod Podge and Decoupage. And it gives a perfect, crisp edge. Love Decoupage. I could put napkins on anything, I think, and make it look better. I love, love, love them. I have a huge napkin collection, and we won't talk about that. Anyway, so there we go. Oh, cute. Yep, and the U has our snowman on the thickest part, and so does the N. And so now we're going to put that, there's that birch bark ribbon that's been in the over in the garden section at the Dollar Tree for, gosh, since spring. I have several rolls because I thought they would get gone fast, but they keep restocking it. So I think it's going to be a normal, you know, thing that they stock, not just holiday. I thought it might have been just a spring thing, but nope, it's still there. And it is beautiful, but it is finicky. The napkin was way, way easier to trim back because this ribbon only wants to rip lengthwise. It will not rip horizontally. It will not rip like a duct tape on a roll. It wants to go lengthwise only, so I really had to give it some attention. All right, so make these letters stand nicely. I put some of those little birch bark logs on the back. I used some of the thinner ones. Whoops, I should have put it on the front too. But then I'm going to use my clear glue, my Elmer's clear glue. I think I got this at Walmart. And I am going to sprinkle it and let it drip kind of haphazardly off of my letters. And you can see we just have some little drips that look like little icicles coming off our FUN fun. And it is definitely that. Look at how cute it looks on the 3 layers of our tiered tray. There's the F and the U, and the N is down there by Frosty and his friends, and they are having fun. And you got a little glimpse of the topper. I did decide finally to make a snowman out of this paperback book. It's kind of a bonus. This is technically my 6th DIY, but it only cost me a dime at Hello Goodbye on Saturdays. If you get the books that are out on the cart outside, the hardback books are a quarter and the paperbacks are a dime. So this one cost me little to nothing. And so I'm just going to take my scissors and my X-Acto. I got that one from the Dollar Tree. It comes in a pack of 3. I have a bigger one I like to use as well. That my husband gave me a big pack of scissors and things for Christmas last year, and that one came in that. But this little one's doing a good job, and so I'm just going to keep hacking at this. My husband and I I was listening to TV, and he was watching. After choir practice on Wednesday nights, we watch The Amazing Race and Survivor, and so I do busy works like this while we do that, while we watch our fun reality TV. And I take a break every now and again to watch a game or a challenge. But I only needed a little bit of this book so I can make something else out of the rest of that. That was a big, thick paperback right there. So I'm just kind of breaking the spine, so to speak. I'm not really breaking it, but I'm opening it up and making sure it's going to be as even as possible. And there's my big one. There's my big X-Acto knife. I'm using that on that part of the spine of the book to make sure that the hat, when I bring it around, meets at the same place. It was a little high on one side, and so I got my big X-Acto out for that. And then I'm going to put a big glob of glue all the way down, and here we go, bringing it together. And then I take my hot glue gun and I just put a little bit, if it's wanting to kind of gape open in spots so it's as even as possible. My beautiful little book pages of my paperback. And I want it to be nice and even, like a big fan all the way around. And he looks so darling with his little hat. And I decide not to put any ink or paint on the outside edges like I sometimes do when I make book projects, because this is black and white. This is the theme of this tiered tray, and the writing on the book page is perfect. Look at that topper on top of that snowflake. Oh, I love it so much. It is beautiful. It was so easy to make and so inexpensive. Oh, I love book DIYs. So my tiered tray is ready to fill. Look at there. We're going to fill it up and make it gorgeous. Look. We're also going to use some of this vase filler in the white and this, and I think I used the gold. The white and the gold. I'm going to spray paint it lightly with this very inexpensive spray paint from Walmart, and $2.48 for a can. And I just give it a light dusting, which kind of gives it a chalky finish. You can still see the glitter a little bit, but look, they look like little snowballs. Little white and golden snowballs, and they look so fun. And our little feisty fellas are having a party and playing with Frosty, and he's hiding behind the chair and they're hiding behind the table. You can see the other chair up there on beside the hot cocoa, ready for somebody to sit in it and enjoy. There's some music for Frosty the Snowman, and they look like they're having so much fun on this snowy tier tray. I've set it on top of my marble Lazy Susan, so it's lifted just a little bit there. And there's our middle tier with our darling little chunky signs. I've put a little bit of that pick on top with my snowman. And I've put the tea lights in there. Those, again, I ordered from Amazon in a set. They are timed, they're on timer, so I don't have to turn them on and off, which is so convenient. They take a battery that's like for a, like a watch battery, an old-fashioned watch. And you can get those at the Dollar Tree. I do order mine from Amazon, but you can get them at the Dollar Tree, and they work just fine in these tea lights, for sure. And they are having super fun. And again, I want to thank Missi from the Crafty Cove, Sharon from Grace's Neighbor Sharon, and of course Emily from Farm Charm Chic for hosting this 5 Under 5 playlist every month. I love it so much. It's so much fun. And this tier tray, the winter tier tray challenge, is so fun. I love tier tray decor that are so little and so easy to make and so downright fun. I want to thank you for watching. This has been a fun video to make. I ask if you please like this video if you have liked any of the content, and of course subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you won't miss any of the notifications of any other videos that I make. And leave a comment. I love the comments. Those are my favorite. I love to read them and tell me which one you like or which one you might make as well. Those are so much fun on my kitchen counter. I want to read to you a few scriptures about friendship. Proverbs 7:17, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. And John 15:13, greater love has no one than this, that someone laid down his life for his friends. And 1 Thessalonians 5:11, therefore encourage one another and build one another up, just as you are doing. And I'll add Ecclesiastes 4:9 and 10 that says, two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him who is alone when he falls. and has not another to lift him up. So from the blue house on the corner, where I'm happy every day to live with my husband and my best friend, God bless you, and I'll see you next time.